The wind howled softly through the tall trees of the old forest. The air was cool and smelled of earth and rain. Deep inside the forest, a cave lay hidden behind thick bushes and rocks. For hundreds of years, no one had come close. The cave was a secret place, full of stories and mystery. Far away in the city, a young explorer named Liam was curious. He had heard old tales about a cave where strange things once happened. Some said it was just a story. Others believed something important was hidden there. Liam wanted to find out the truth. One bright morning, with a small bag on his back and a map in his hand, Liam set off toward the forest. He moved carefully, stepping over roots and stones. The deeper he went, the quieter the forest became. Birds stopped singing, and even the wind seemed to hold its breath. Finally, Liam found the cave entrance. It was dark and cold inside. The walls were covered with strange marks. Liam felt a chill run down his spine, but he took out his flashlight and stepped inside. As he walked deeper, the cave opened into a large chamber. In the center, a figure lay motionless. It was a man dressed in old armor, covered in dust but still strong-looking. Liam could not believe his eyes. How had this man stayed here for so long? Suddenly, a soft light appeared at the back of the cave. A young woman stepped out from the shadows. Her skin was pale blue and her eyes shone like stars. She wore simple clothes that seemed to glow faintly, and her small pointed ears showed she was not from Earth. "Wake up," she said gently, her voice calm but urgent. The man's eyes slowly opened. He looked around, confused and weak. His name was Joran, a human warrior who had been asleep for 250 years. The woman was Alara, the alien girl who had saved him long ago. She had found Joran during a fierce battle on a distant planet. Their enemies wanted to kill him because he was a strong, human fighter who stood against their rule. To save him, Alara had hidden him in this cave, using her alien powers to keep him safe and asleep until the danger passed. But now, the danger had returned. Alara looked at Joran with worry. "They found us," she said softly. "The hunters are coming, back. We must be ready." Joran tried to stand but felt weak. His memories were foggy and the world seemed strange. "Where am I?" he asked. "You are safe, but not for long," Alara answered. "You were hidden here to keep you alive. Now the enemies who hunted you have returned. They want to finish what they started." Joran's eyes grew sharp with the fire of a warrior. Even after centuries, he was still ready to fight. "Tell me everything," he said. Alara nodded. She began to explain what had happened in the years since she hid him away. "The galaxy is no longer safe for humans and their allies," she said. "The hunters are a group of powerful aliens who want to control all worlds. They believe humans are a threat to their power. That is why they chased you." Joran listened carefully. He felt a strange mix of sadness and anger. The world he knew was gone. People he cared about were lost in time, but the fire inside him burned stronger. He was alive again, and he had a chance to protect the future. Alara helped Joran to his feet. "There is little time. We must leave this cave and warn the others. They will try to find us again." Outside the cave, the forest was quiet, but Alara's alien senses told her the danger was near. She looked at the sky, where strange ships moved like dark shadows. The hunters had begun their search. Liam, the explorer, watched from behind a tree. He had never seen anything like Alara and Joran before. He felt fear and awe at the same time. Should he run? Or should he help? Alara noticed him but did not seem afraid. Instead, she called him over. "You are not a threat," she said kindly. "We need friends." Liam stepped forward slowly. "Who are you? What is happening here?" Alara smiled. "I am Alara. This is Joran, a human warrior from long ago. We are here because the hunters want to destroy humans and their allies. We need help to stop them." Liam's heart beat fast. He had always dreamed of adventure but never imagined something like this. Now he was part of a story bigger than he could have imagined. Joran looked at Liam with steady eyes. "If you want to help, you must be brave. The hunters are strong, and the fight will not be easy." Liam nodded. "I'm ready. Tell me what to do." Alara and Joran shared a quick look. They knew the road ahead was dangerous, but together they had hope. As the sun began to set, the three stood at the cave entrance, ready to face the coming storm. The past had awakened. The future was uncertain. But one thing was clear. Humans and aliens would fight side by side to protect their world. And the war was only just beginning. The moon shone softly over the quiet forest as Alara, Joran, and Liam moved away from the cave. The air was cool, but their minds were full of questions. The world outside had changed a lot since Joran's time. Cities now touched the sky, and people traveled far beyond Earth. But the threat was real, and the three knew they could not wait. Alara led the way. Her alien senses were sharp, picking up small signs of danger. She explained more about the hunters, the enemies who had chased Joran centuries ago. "They are called the Vecran," she said quietly. "A cruel and powerful group. They control many planets. They believe humans must be wiped out because humans are strong and unpredictable." Joran clenched his fists. "They fear what humans can do. They don't understand our strength." Liam looked between them, surprised. "How do you know so much about them? And why have they waited so long to come back?" Alara sighed. "After I hid Joran, the Vecran lost track of us. They thought we were gone forever. But now they have found traces. Their scouts are here. They want to finish their mission." Joran's eyes darkened. "Then we have little time to warn others. If the Vecran find Earth, they will destroy it." The weight of the situation pressed down on them. Liam felt a sudden fear for the people he knew, the home he loved. But he also felt a spark of determination. He would not let fear win. They moved through the forest and found a small clearing where Alara's alien communicator lay hidden. She pressed a button and a soft light showed a map of nearby areas. Small dots blinked in different colors. "We need allies," she said. "Humans who are aware of the stars and ready to fight if needed. Some have been waiting for a sign. We must find them." Joran nodded. "I remember a place from my time, a secret base hidden underground. It was built to protect humans from the Vecran. Maybe it still exists." Liam's eyes widened. "If we find it, we can get help. But how do we know it's still there after so many years?" Alara smiled faintly. "I have a way to track it. Follow me." For hours they walked through thick woods and rocky hills. The forest grew darker and colder. Strange sounds echoed from the shadows, but the three pressed on. Finally, near a hidden rock formation, Alara stopped. She touched the ground with her hand, and suddenly, a panel slid open in the earth. A small staircase led down into darkness. Joran took a deep breath. "This is it, the base." They went down carefully, the air growing cooler and still. Inside, lights flickered to life and machines hummed softly. The base was old, but still working. Screens showed star maps and warnings. It was a hidden command. Center, ready for war. Liam was amazed. "Who built this place?" Alara said. "Humans and their allies worked together before. They knew the Vecran were coming back." Joran walked to a large table with star charts. "Here is the history. The Vecran attacked many worlds. Humans fought back, but lost many battles. This base was a last hope." Suddenly, an alarm beeped. A red light flashed. Alara looked at the screen. "They are close. Vecran scouts detected us." Joran drew his old sword from his belt, but Liam raised his hand. "Wait. We need to understand what we face." Alara pulled up an image of a Vecran ship. It looked large and fierce, covered in dark armor and weapons. "They have ships that can hide from most sensors," she said. "Their soldiers are trained to fight both in space and on planets. They use fear and power to control." Liam felt a cold chill. "How can we stop them?" Joran looked at Alara. "We need more than strength. We need a plan." Alara nodded. and we need allies who trust us. But many humans don't believe in aliens or this war. We must show them the truth. Liam thought of the people in his city. If we can warn the world, maybe they will listen. Joran said, "Time is short. The Vecran will attack soon. We must move fast." Alara opened a communication device. "I will send a message to those who once fought with us. They are scattered now, but some still wait." The three waited, the room silent except for the soft beeps of machines. Minutes passed like hours. Suddenly a reply came. A voice, strong and clear, spoke through the speakers. "We received your call. We are ready to stand with you." Joran smiled. Hope is not lost. Liam felt a surge of courage. "Then let's prepare. Earth will not fall without a fight." Alara looked out the window of the base. The stars shone bright above, but darkness was near. Together they would face the coming storm. The past had returned, but this time humanity was ready. The sun rose slowly over the horizon, casting soft light on the hidden base. Inside, Alara, Joran, and Liam prepared for what lay ahead. The message from the old allies gave them hope, but also made clear how dangerous the coming battle would be. Alara moved through the control room, checking scanners and weapons. She looked calm but focused. "The Vecran scouts are closing in fast," she said. "We must be ready." Joran paced, sharpening his sword with careful strokes. "I have fought many battles, but this one feels different. We face a new enemy with new weapons and cruel minds." Liam studied the star maps, trying to understand the enemy's moves. "If the scouts are here, then the main fleet can't be far behind." Alara nodded. "They want to find the cave, where you were hidden. That is why they attack here first." Suddenly, the base's alarm rang loud. Red lights flashed, and a low rumble shook the ground. The Vecran scouts had arrived. Joran grabbed his armor, ready to fight. "This is the moment." Alara handed Liam a small weapon. "You must defend the base. I will join Joran outside." Liam felt nervous but took the weapon. "I'm ready." Outside. The base. The forest was quiet, but shadows moved quickly. Dark ships hovered above, sending out small fighter crafts. The Vecran soldiers landed in waves, their armor cold and strong. Joran and Alara stood side by side. The warrior's sword shone in the morning light. Alara's alien powers glowed softly around her hands. Together, they were a strong force. The first wave of Vecran charged forward. Joran swung his sword, cutting through the enemies with skill and speed. Alara used her powers to create shields and blasts that pushed the attackers back. The battle was fierce. The Vecran were trained and relentless, but the human and alien fought with courage and heart. Back inside, Liam fired his weapon, protecting the base from soldiers who slipped past the front lines. His hand shook, but he kept focused. Amid the chaos, a voice crackled through the communicator. "This is Captain Wren, leader of the Hidden Watch. We're on our way." Joran's eyes brightened. "Reinforcements." Moments later, figures appeared from the trees. They wore mixed armor, some human, some alien. They carried weapons but also hope. Captain Wren stepped forward, a tall man with a steady gaze. "We heard your call. The Hidden Watch has waited for this moment. Together, we will stand." Alara smiled. "Welcome. We need every hand to stop the Vecran." The battle grew harder as more Vecran soldiers came. The Hidden Watch fought fiercely, protecting the base and pushing the enemy back. Liam found himself next to a young woman named Mara. She was a skilled fighter with a calm presence. "Stay close," she said. "We can do this." Together, they formed a line holding back the Vecran tide. During a brief pause, Joran looked at Alara. "I see now that humans and aliens can fight as one. This alliance is our greatest strength." Alara nodded. "We must trust each other. Only together can we survive." Suddenly, the ground shook violently. A large Vecran machine, a war crawler, rolled toward the base. Its heavy armor was almost impossible to damage. Joran shouted, "We must stop it before it breaks through." The Hidden Watch tried everything, but the crawler pushed forward. Liam fired a special energy weapon, but it barely scratched the machine. Alara thought quickly. She raised her hands and sent a powerful energy wave that slowed the crawler. Joran, now! With a fierce cry, Joran charged. Using his sword and strength, he climbed onto the crawler. The machine tried to throw him off, but he held tight. With a final strike, he damaged its control system. The crawler stopped, and the remaining Vecran soldiers retreated. The forest grew quiet again. The first clash was over. Captain Wren approached the group. This is only the beginning. The main fleet will arrive soon. Alara looked at the sky. Then we must prepare for the next battle. But we have made a strong stand. Liam felt proud. He had faced his fears and helped save the base. He looked at Joran and Alara and knew this was more than a fight. It was the start of a new hope. Joran sheathed his sword. The Vecran think they can destroy us, but they do not know the strength of humans. Alara smiled softly. And they do not understand the power of friendship and trust. As the sun climbed higher, the allies gathered to plan. The fight was far from over, but now they were united. The hidden alliance was real, and the battle for Earth's future had begun. The hidden base was quiet now, but the weight of the battle hung heavy in the air. The allies gathered inside, catching their breath and tending to their wounds. Outside, the forest stood still, but everyone knew this peace was only brief. Alara sat beside Joran, her eyes filled with memories. "There is something I must tell you," she said softly. Joran looked at her, curious but calm. "What is it?" Alara took a deep breath. "When I hid you in the cave all those years ago, I made a promise. I promised to protect you no matter the cost. But it was not easy. I had to keep you asleep for centuries, using my power to hold your life safe." Joran's eyes widened. "Centuries?" Alara nodded. "Yes. Time passed, but I stayed near you, watching, waiting for the right moment. Many sacrifices were made. I lost friends. I gave up a part of myself to keep you alive." Joran reached out, taking her hand gently. "You did all this for me?" Alara smiled sadly. "Not just for you, for the future, for the hope that humans and aliens could stand together against the darkness." Liam listened quietly nearby, amazed by their story. The bond between Alara and Joran was deeper than he had imagined. It was more than friendship or duty. It was hope. Captain Wren entered the room. "We have received new information," he said, seriously. "The Vecran fleet is closer than we thought. They will arrive in less than 2 days." The room grew tense. Plans had to be made, but trust was fragile. Some humans in the Hidden Watch still doubted the aliens. Old fears and misunderstandings whispered among them. Joran stood and addressed the group. "I understand your fears. I have lived through the darkest times, but now we must be united. The enemy will not spare anyone who is divided." A young soldier, Mara, spoke up. "How can we trust those we have never met? How do we know you will fight for us?" Alara stepped forward. "Because we share the same goal, to protect this world. I offer you my life and my people's honor. Together we can survive." Slowly the tension began to ease. The warriors, human and alien, prepared their weapons and shared knowledge. The past battles had taught them lessons, and they knew the coming fight would be harder. That night, Joran sat alone by a small fire. He thought about the sacrifices Alara had made. Her loyalty was a gift, but it was also a heavy burden. Liam approached and sat beside him. "You are lucky to have her by your side." Joran smiled softly. "Luck is more than chance. It is trust, courage, and love." Suddenly, an alarm rang again. The base's sensors detected movement outside. The Vecran scouts had returned. This time, they brought a new weapon, a massive drone that could fire powerful energy blasts. The allies hurried to defend the base. The battle was fierce. The drone's blasts shook the ground, and soldiers scrambled to avoid its fire. Alara used her powers to protect the team, creating barriers that absorbed the attacks. Joran fought with fury, his sword cutting through the enemy lines. Liam, now more confident, helped coordinate defenses and keep the communication clear. During the fight, a scout tried to sneak past the defenses. Mara noticed and shouted a warning. Joran reacted quickly, blocking the scout's path. The enemy tried to escape, but Joran grabbed a strange device from the scout's belt. It was a tracking beacon. Alara examined it. They want to know where we are at all times. This means the main fleet can find us easily. The team knew their position was no longer secret. The Vecron were closing in fast. After the battle, the Allies regrouped, tired but determined. Alara stood beside Joran and said, "We must move from this base soon. The Vecron will attack with full force," Joran agreed. "But before we go, there is something else I need to know." Alara looked surprised. "What is it?" Joran's eyes were serious. "Why did you risk so much to save me? Why hide a human warrior in a cave for centuries?" Alara took a deep breath. "Because of a prophecy." She explained how long ago an ancient alien seer had spoken of a human who would change the fate of the galaxy. This warrior would bring hope to both humans and aliens, uniting them in a fight against darkness. "I believe that warrior is you," Alara said quietly. Joran looked down, feeling the weight of the words. "I do not know if I am worthy." Alara smiled. "You are not alone. We will face this together." Liam watched them and felt a growing respect. This was more than a battle for survival. It was a story of hope, trust, and sacrifice. As the Allies prepared to leave the base, they knew the road ahead was dangerous. The Vecran fleet was coming, and the fight for Earth's future was about to reach its peak. But with courage and unity, they believed they could stand against any darkness. The sky was dark and heavy with clouds as the Allied forces prepared for the final battle. The hidden base had been abandoned, but their new home was a wide, open field near the city. Here, humans and aliens stood together, ready to defend their world. Joran stood at the front, his sword in hand and his eyes full of determination. Alara was beside him, her alien powers glowing faintly, ready to protect and fight. Liam moved between the groups, helping to organize and calm the nervous fighters. "Today," Joran said, raising his voice so all could hear, "we fight not just for ourselves, but for the future of every living being. The Vecran think they can crush us, but they do not understand the strength of unity and hope." The crowd cheered. The hidden alliance was real. They were ready. Suddenly, the sky lit up with the arrival of the Vecran fleet. Huge warships filled the horizon, their dark forms casting shadows on the ground below. Fighter craft sped toward the field, preparing to attack. Alara raised her hands, creating a shimmering shield over the Allied forces. "Hold the line," she commanded. "We can protect each other." The battle began with a roar. Vecran fighters swooped down, firing energy blasts. The Allied forces fired back with their weapons, mixing human technology with alien power. Joran charged forward, cutting through enemy soldiers with skill and courage. Alara moved with grace, using her powers to shield her friends and strike the enemy. Liam found himself fighting beside Mara and Captain Wren. Together, they defended the important command center where the leaders planned the battle. Despite the heavy attack, the Allies held strong. Their teamwork surprised the Vecran, who expected easy victory. During the fight, a large Vecran war machine advanced toward the city. It was heavily armored and powerful, capable of destroying everything in its path. Joran saw the danger and shouted, "We must stop that machine!" A small group, including Joran, Alara, Liam, and Mara, moved to face the war machine. Alara used her energy to slow it down, but it was not enough. Joran climbed the machine's side, using his sword to strike weak points. The machine shook, but kept moving forward. Suddenly, Liam found a control panel on the machine's back. With Mara's help, he managed to open it and disable its engines. The war machine ground to a stop. The Allied forces cheered, feeling the hope grow stronger. But the battle was far from over. The Vecran leader appeared, a tall figure in shining armor, commanding the fleet. He sent his strongest fighters toward the Allies. Alara stood firm. "This ends now," she said. Joran nodded. For Earth and all who fight for peace. With a fierce cry, they led the charge. The fight was intense, but the Allied forces pushed back the enemy. One by one, the Vecran ships began to retreat. The enemy leader, seeing defeat, called off the attack. The sky grew calm. The battle was won. Joran looked at the faces around him. Humans and aliens united in victory. "This is just the beginning," he said. "But today we proved that together we are unstoppable." Alara smiled softly. The prophecy was true. Humanity and aliens, side by side, can change the fate of the galaxy. Liam felt a warm pride in his heart. He had found more than adventure. He had found a family and a cause worth fighting for. As the sun rose on a new day, the Allies stood together, ready to build a future of peace and hope. The war was over, but the story of humanity's rise had only just begun.